Hello, welcome back. I'm Lori Williams, and today I wanted to talk about something that I've really been learning over like the last almost 2 weeks. Um, this is something that I've always struggled with being able to feel feelings because I have always decided that I can't feel opposing feelings at the same time. That it's not okay for me to be happy and sad. It's not okay for me to be angry and joyful. It's not okay for me to be grieving and find moments of pure bliss and love and joy. And I always felt like, how can I experience both of those? And how is that okay? And I've realized recently that not only is there healing in feeling those opposing feelings, because sometimes, especially if you're feeling something really, really heavy, sometimes you need to have that break in what you're feeling just to be able to breathe again. If you're dealing with grief and for 5 seconds, something makes you laugh, you find something joyful, even if it's fleeting, you need that minute of break, of feeling the heaviness and the pain of grief. And that's okay. And I've realized that being stuck in the emotion is actually the problem, not feeling opposing emotions. So this has been something that I've learned this recently. And I think it has forever changed how I look at emotions, how I deal with emotions. Because normally, for me anyway, when I deal with emotions, it's like, okay, I am feeling this, I need to look at this, I need to evaluate this, and this has my full attention, this has all of my energy until I can learn from it, process it, and release it. And the truth of it is, not that that's a bad way of being either, but I feel, having learned this new way of looking at things, that's it's effective, but it's a very harsh effectiveness to it. It's almost like I'm just being so rigid with myself that I'm like, okay, you're not allowed to be happy until you deal with grief. You're not allowed to feel joy until you deal with this sadness. And why? Why? I don't even know why I ever thought that was okay. Because, and it wasn't until I shared this with a client last week. And this client had said to me, he's like, I'm happy sad, if that makes sense. And I was like, it 100% makes sense. Because I had noticed throughout the week, that same week, that there was so many moments of happiness for me, but also intense sadness. And there was so many moments of celebrating my clients and just life in general, but also dealing with death. And even though I was confused as I was going through these opposing emotions, at the same time, I found it very liberating. And I found a place for myself where processing emotions becomes less about being rigid with them and more about flowing through them, which I have found so much more value in. I have found so much more healing in being able to flow through the different emotions rather than like feeling one and just holding on to it for dear life. Our emotions aren't stagnant. They are supposed to flow to and from us. That's like the normal human experience, is to have the emotions flow to and from us. And all the emotions, the good, the bad, the ugly. And now, learning what I've learned through this process, I'm now looking at feeling emotions in a very detached way. I feel like I've been pretty detached from emotions, but this is like next level. I don't own emotions that come up when I'm dealing With sadness, for an example, I allow it to come, I allow it to hang out, I allow it to teach me what it needs to teach me, I process it, I let it go. I don't own it. I don't let it take up the rest of my life. I don't let myself get stuck in any one emotion. But I was only allowing myself to feel one emotion at a time and have all of my attention on that emotion, to a point where if I felt anything but that, especially anything even remotely opposing, I would feel guilty of, like, how dare you have happiness while you're having grief? How dare you smile and laugh with people when you were just crying 5 minutes ago? Like, we're human. That's what it comes down to. We are a spiritual being having a human experience. And we don't have to own our emotions. In fact, I firmly believe you do not need to own your emotions. They're not yours. They're there as teachers for you, but they're not yours. But if you want to feel happy and sad at the same time, because that is true for you, then feel happy or sad at the same time. I think, for me anyway, and I hope this helps you, is to take the pressure off of yourself of having to show up in a certain way and be a certain way in order for it to feel legit. If you're feeling it, it's legit. You don't need any kind of an explanation for it. You just don't. I hope this helps you take the pressure off yourself. I hope this helps you be able to detach. This is kind of like a next level of detachment from your emotions, of not really expecting anything from them. Like I said, I was not allowing myself to attach to them, because I have learned detachment from my emotions, but I was still holding on to them for dear life. It was like I wouldn't let them come to me, but I would hold them in my hands and not let them go until I was done with them. And now it's like, you know what? Okay, in this second, in this moment, I feel great. I feel at peace. I feel calm. I feel relaxed. I have had an incredible day today, and there was a lot of self-care in today, and I'm so happy that I made time to do that. And that's okay. Right now I'm feeling that. 5 minutes from now I may be crying. I don't know. I may be even more in a state of bliss and happiness and euphoria than I am right now. But I also may be sad because, I have a memory or have a thought of something that makes me upset. Even though I feel relaxed and calm and euphoric, I can still allow myself to feel that sadness and let it come through me without having it define me or who I am or how I should show up in the world or that I'm doing anything wrong. This has been a huge, huge, huge epiphany for me this week. And that's why I wanted to share it with you guys, because anything that I learn as I'm going through this, if it can help you, I always look at it, I guarantee I'm not the only person in the world that has gone through this. I'm not. I can't be. It's 3 gazillion people in the world, something like that? Maybe 3.4 gazillion people? I'm not sure. But yeah, if somebody else needs to hear this. So I want to obviously share that with you guys. And I hope you guys are having an incredible weekend. And I'll see you back here next time. Until then, take care. Bye for now.